The first, we are going with the very basics of React. So in the React, you generally think what are the const, let, and var, right? So in the ES6 and in the ES6 or ES5, we can also say the const, let are came, and the previously we are using in the JavaScript for var. So var is used for the variable, let and constant is also used for the variables, but constant is for the constant data type, that where we don't want to reassign the value, but in the let we can use reuse the value. So we should not use var as of now. We will use either const and let. Okay, so where we will use for the global scope variable we will use. Okay, otherwise constant we will not use and let we will not use. So in the functional programming we can also use const as well as let we will use. Previously we also use var. Okay, so in the block level scope you will write const as well as let, but we will not use var type, right, as you know. If we want to reassign the value, then we will not use const. We want to reuse the value, reassign the value, then after the calculation, after the some condition check, then we will use let variable. Okay, otherwise we will use var also, that we will use we used to do in JavaScript. Okay, so this is the very basic concept behind the scene. So you can keep the note, and in the further uh, lecture when we will use this type of variables, so you will have the better understanding. Okay, so previously we use var, now we will use const and let. Okay, thank you guys. Okay guys, so in the last lecture what we have discussed, we have discussed about the let and const, right? So let's understand first from the variable side, where then we will discuss about the const and let, right? So if we have a name, name variable is there. Okay, and in the name I'm going to pass Evelyn, right, as my baby name, Evelyn, Evelyn. Okay, and I have entered, right? Now I'm going to write console.log, and then in the log I will pass the name, right? So what I will see, I will see my baby name, right, Evelyn. Okay, now now if I'm going to use let, I'm going to reassign the name, right? Name equal to Hira. I'm going to pass, I am going to enter, right? Now I want to check the console value, right? What I'm seeing, I can replace the value, reassign the value, right? I can reassign the value. Okay, that's cool as of now. Okay, let go for, we have done with let, right? Where now we are going to use let my name, and we are passing my name Hira Babu. Okay, I'm done. Let me go with console.log, and then I want to check my name, right? So what will the value it will there? My name will be the value. But if I am going to use my name, in place of that I am going to pass my baby name, Evelyn Singh. Let's see. So what is coming? Evelyn Singh is coming, right? So if we will use var, in place of that we will use let. Okay, but if we want to use const, what will happen? Let's see. Let me okay, I have a const value. The const I'm going to pass your name. I'm changing the variable, so if you should not have the doubt. And your name is Navi, and then I'm going to use console.log, and I want to check your name. So what is the name? Navi is your name. I want to change your name to Navneet. Okay, see what is saying, that assignment to a constant variable is not allowed, right? So if you want to use let, that will perfect, you can reassign the value. But when you are going to the const, you cannot reassign the value. Okay, so these are the basic concept behind the scene. You have to understand why we are going to write let const and these variables. So we will explain in the future too, but keep in the mind and keep in the note. Okay, so it will help you in the upcoming lectures. Thank you guys.